Was I the next victim? Is what I constantly asked myself as I walked the halls of my high school. Was my shoulders going to offend someone, or was my shorts going to be a few centimeters too short from being acceptable? These are the questions teenage girls have to ask themselves and worry about before leaving the house in the morning. Shouldn't students just have to worry about their academic responsibilities rather than what attire they're wearing? According to the National Education Association, When School Dress Code Discriminates, published by Kara Barrett on July 24th, 2018, she states, at East Longmeadow High School, Massachusetts, 6 out of the 9 students, 9 dress code regulations were targeted at females. I want to inform you what is happening to female students in high schools when it comes to dress code. There are 2 reasons why girls are being negatively impacted by dress code. 1, female students end up viewing their bodies in a negative light, and 2, it discriminates against female students. First, female students end up viewing their bodies in a negative light based on what they can and cannot wear to school. School dress codes make a girl feel ashamed of the body parts they were blessed with. Why should those body parts make them feel ashamed when they are a beautiful thing? In high schools all over the country, female bodies are called a distraction by school staff members. We females can't be a distraction to males in the classroom. That's what we were told. It is never the other way around of why males can't be a distraction to females. By these actions, schools are prioritizing males' education over females. Schools end up over-sexualizing the female body as well. By pointing out certain things on the female body, they're drawing more attention to it than there would have been any attention at all. Shoulders are looked at in a sexual way. With that being said, I cannot tell you how many times the joke, "your shoulders are distracting me," has been thrown around by male students. It is so ridiculous that even the boys find it ridiculous and overboard. There are a few rules that I want to go over about student dress code. The fingertip rule, which is when your hands are down at your side and your fingertips have to be where your shorts end or go past to be acceptable. And sometimes it is absolutely just so hard to find clothing, especially if you are a taller female. And the 3 fingertip rule, which applies to tank tops. So it has to be 3 fingertips width to be acceptable for school. And the ruler under the leg, which is when you're about to enter school and a staff member of the school sticks a ruler in between your legs to see if your shorts are the acceptable length. For young teenage females, clothes are a symbol of expression. By putting all of these sexist rules in place, you are stunting a female's voice and freedom of expression. As stated in the article, Are Dress Codes Fair? By Scholastic Choices, February 2019, they state, our outfits are never considered distracting. They're more like inspiration for other kids to step out of their comfort zone and express themselves as well. Females are held to the standard of having to look sexy, but not too sexy, or else you're considered a slut. In the classroom, a teacher is allowed to point out when they think you look too sexy, which I believe is calling the student a slut without actually saying it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is when girls start to view the female body in a negative way. Secondly, dress code discriminates. Male students aren't held to the same standards girls are. Boys can get away with breaking dress code when females can't. It's looked at like it's a sin. Boys can have their shoulders showing without a problem. Their pants can sag and their boxers can hang out, but if a girl's underwear hangs out, it's the end of the world. Their pants can be skin tight, but girls can't even wear leggings to school because they show too much. And guys' muscles can be shown even when it's looked at as sexy in a girl's head, but they're allowed to show a sexy part of their body when girls can't. If a teacher dislikes a student, they, for whatever reason, and has it out for them, they can use and abuse their power and target them. They get to pick and choose what students to dress code. Many of the time, I would see the same few students get dress coded and by the same teachers, but there were other girls that were wearing far worse attire than them that would get away with it. Female students also miss out on valuable class time due to having to go to the principal's office because they broke dress code. They often have to call home for new attire, or they have to find other clothes in school, and they're missing out on valuable class time. And then schools often cover for a male's actions. To avoid negative reactions by males, females have to cover their bodies. Why should a female have to cover their bodies for boys' negative reaction? If a male acts out, the girl is blamed, and they're often told, well, you shouldn't have been wearing that in the first place. Females suffer and boys don't face the consequences. Girls don't want to hear the excuse anymore, boys will be boys. Jordan Selman Goldstein, author of The School Dress Code Privileged Boys Education, published on June 11, 2018, writes about a personal experience. The administrators made Martinez put on an undershirt, put band-aids over her nipples, and requested that she move around for them, presumably to see if the handiwork was successful in hindering her breasts from the world. In conclusion, female high school students are being negatively impacted by sexist dress code. This is what is happening to girls all around the country when it comes to dress code. As a review, female students view their bodies in a negative light based on what clothing they can and cannot wear. They end up feeling shameful of their body. They're called a distraction, and they over-sexualize the female body and prioritize males' education. Dress code also discriminates. Boys can break dress code when girls can't. There is target from school staff and females missing valuable class time and being the ones to blame for the negative reaction of males. In conclusion, this is an inside look at the life of a female high school student and the challenges they face when it comes to sexist dress code. Questions?
How did it make you feel when the male students were treated differently than the female students?
Less than. It made me feel less than. Why should they be treated differently than us? There's no difference between a male and a woman.
Do you think dress codes favor male or female?
Absolutely, they favor male. The male is never really looked at as a sexual object like women are, so we are the ones being targeted.
How did it make you feel when an adult took a ruler to your leg to see if your shorts were long enough for you to continue your education?
Absolutely violated. There should be no reason where a teacher has to do that to anyone. It's just going past the limit. Thank you.